I am live and welcome to the Call to Cinema. I have not been here the last couple nights because I have not been feeling the best, and I have been pretty much working and passing out, and that's been pretty much it for the last few days. So I'll wake up long enough to get some food, and usually it's pass out city again. But had a few people like kind of reach out to me tonight and ask if there was going to be a video being done anytime in the near future. Well, here's the near future. So I decided to go with like a kind of a theme. I want to make something. I'm not sure if it's going to be a Lions video, especially if we don't get anybody come in. We'll see. But anyway, tonight we're diving deep. Hey, Chris, man. Welcome, man. Hey, Alan. Hey there, George. We're going directly into the red zone. We're going to be looking at Mondo Macabro. Hi there, Dave. Which is the company I was going to look at before when they had their sale going on, but I got sick and I was feeling crappy. So we're going to look at Mondo Macabro, and we're also going to be looking at, because it also has the red cases and it was right next to the Mondo Macabro, we're going to be looking at the 88 film slasher classic collection. Hey, Danush, I got your email today, by the way. I wasn't able to respond to it yet, but I've been pretty passed out. So I worked, and then I directly after work, I said, now's a good time to fall asleep. And I did. I went upstairs. I was going to watch a movie, actually, for an upcoming review that I'm doing. I've actually been going back and looking at some of my older stuff that had, that didn't have very many, that still to this day don't have very many views. And which is okay. It's older stuff. It's understandable when I watch it back. And trying to decide if I should do any pre-tape videos in the future, so that I can bank some stuff to put on here for when I'm not feeling well, like this. Hey there, Dungeon Man. Welcome. Hey there, Chris. Oh, not a problem. Hey, 13 Wolfman, welcome, dude. I still gotta watch a video that you sent me. 13 Wolfman did a video recently that I haven't got a chance to watch yet, but hopefully everyone of you did. All right, so do you want to start with the 88 film slasher classics collection, or would you like to start with the Mondo Macabro collection? Before we start, though, I'm going to say this because I'm going to forget it. Like, share, and subscribe. Please do that. That's really important, and it means that people see my channel and other people come in. Hey there, Mark. I am feeling groggy, but I'm going to do this. That's going to take me a bit. I want to get your list. Because 101 movies, that's a lot of movies. 88 films first. You want to go with 88 films first, Chris? Okay, we'll go with 88 films first. So for those that aren't aware, 88 films a while back started a slasher classics line. The 88 films previously to that were probably known mostly for the fact it's up and down. I mean, like yesterday she had a temp, and she's got a bit of a sore throat. Like, I think she's got a little bit of an inflammation there. So she took some random antibiotics, but she's doing her medication. She's doing everything she needs to do to feel better. So hopefully she'll feel better soon. She survives on her favorite YouTube videos. That's how she does it, and I'm very blessed to have her. Anyway, so 88 Films started out doing stuff like a lot of full moon stuff. You used to get a lot of full moon stuff from 88 Films in the early stuff. Then they started I think the Slasher Classics was the first line that they started. Hey there, Paul. Then they went with the Italian collection. I hope I got this in the right order. And I know they did the 88 Films Asia collection after that. Now, early on too, they had a cult cinema collection, which was done in yellow cases, much like Shameless are done. And what all that really meant was that they took some of their movies that had been Blu-ray releases, and they put them like for cheaper, and they put them as DVD releases. Think of like if you're in the UK, think of it as a Tesco release. It has all the same features, but it's on DVD. The Lone Ranger one, I love that. That's one the Lone Ranger one's got me started collecting again. I haven't watched a video in a long time though. I probably suck on it, so I apologize for that ahead of time. Let me open up my my chat here, so I can see exactly who's saying what, and I'm not missing out on the comment section. Did I see the 80 indicator sale? I did not, actually. I actually ordered something not too long ago, yesterday actually, and the reason I was able to, because I have no money now, like a lot of you people, is that the two things that I had ordered from Unobstructed View, unfortunately, not on them. It's just those things weren't available anymore. So two box sets that I was going to get were actually that were at a print box set, and I thought, okay, yay, I got them. Hey there, Dwayne. Because I had planned a Jess Franco video and a Lucio Fulci video. I still have enough movies to do the Lucio Fulci video, and I think I got enough for the Franco one. But I had the Jess Franco Perverse collection ordered that they didn't have anymore. And then I had the Lucio Fulci set ordered, the one with the perversion story and like a couple others there. So I'm guessing, Emily, that's the one you're not going to get come if you're there, because I know she ordered it too. 4% off Jack Nicholson movies and William Castle box sets. Oh, nice. I definitely would check that out. Like, I heard that the Wolf is actually really, really low now right now. Hey there, Captain. So we will start out with the 88 films. NVIDIA Visuals having the flash sale. Rue Morgue's Midnight Movie Society films. I don't think I've got any NVIDIA Visual, but I got a lot of NVIDIA Rewind. I'm going to guess the NVIDIA Visual sales probably on the NVIDIA site. Have I seen the award-winning movie called A Ring of Bright Water? I actually have it here in my MGM collection, but I don't remember it, and I don't think I've unwrapped the one that I got. No, I think there's a Blu-ray edition of that out now, but I picked up the MGM edition of that a while back. If that's the one I'm thinking of, if that's the animal one that was done by the guys that did Born Free, then yes. Hey there, Ricky. So we'll start with, there's only a couple I've got in the Slasher Classic Collection and DVD, but they are actually some really good ones. And then I got a bunch of Blu-ray. Then we'll go into the Mondo Macabro stuff as well. So first up is a movie of many, many titles. It was called Communion. It's directed by Alfred Soul. I'm not going to give its actual name. It was also called Holy Terror. Do I have the Greek Mondo Macabro? I do indeed, and I'll be talking about that actually. Does anybody know what this is? Alfred Soul, Holy Terror, Communion. But it's known by another title. Exactly, Mark. It is Alice, Sweet Alice. The movie that creeps me out because that is one freaky looking mask. The transparent mask just really, really freaks me. But again, like there's features on this. There's an audio commentary by director Alfred Soul. There's an alternate Communion title sequence there. Original Holy Terror trailer. Stills Gallery 88 Films trailer park. And reversible Holy Terror artwork. So here we got the Alice Sweet Alice artwork. If it's like, okay, is this the same artwork with Holy Terror written on it? So I won't have to switch that one out to show you. I will when the artwork is significantly different though. I do need to upgrade to the Arrow, and that is a good addition. It is Brooke Shields' first movie. It's not much of a spoiler alert, but she dies right at the beginning of the film, actually. She's the first victim. And sets up the red herring to go throughout the film. Got the 88 Films version as well. Next up is one that was remade, actually. About 10 minutes of the film, yeah, at the beginning of the film. I think they're actually getting ready for a Communion. Good question. Now let's just see. Now, if the Alice Sweet Alice one, I'm going to just check and see if they have the. Yep, this is an all region one. So it says all region, so it should play on all players. I'll try to, if I remember. If I don't remember, remind me to check to see if they're all region as I go through with these here. Yeah, I love this film actually. You did under the Communion title. It was always Alice Sweet Alice where I got it, and it freaked me out. It was one of those movies that creeped me out, and I was like. And I was one of those kids, the more something creeped me out, the more I would watch it to say, okay, I'm going to get over my fear. And I wouldn't. I'd just be not sleeping that well that night, but I was okay with that. I do have to get the Arrow edition down the road. Okay, so this one's really cool. And this has a cool alternate artwork, so I will show you the alternate artwork on this one. This is Unhinged. It was remade, actually, a few years back. I'm sure 13 Wolfman knows. I actually enjoyed this film. I used to own this on one of these kind of these really cheap labels where It was actually so cheap that I wasn't even sure if it was actually legit or it was like a bootleg company. But I finally got the 80 films edition of this one. Um, Features on here, we got like an audio commentary by the director, original theatrical trailers. There's a widescreen and full screen, full frame version of the film. And the 80 films trailer pack, reversible artwork. You want to see the reversible artwork on this one? Because it is actually pretty interesting. So we'll just slide it out. So this is a reversible artwork for Unhinged. Don't Look Now and Alice Sweet Alice is a great double feature, but I'm not sure if I would sleep afterwards. Don't Look Now is. I actually read the story before I saw the movie. When I was young, my mom was in a double day book club, so she was always asking me every month I could buy something, right? And I was a weird kid, so one month I decided I want to get the Daphne du Maurier collection. So I got a collection of Daphne du Maurier stories, and Don't Look Now, of course, is one of the stories in that double day collection. It freaked me out, but I loved it. And yes, this one here is, again, all region. Pretty Baby. Yeah, that was a different one, right? Her mom kind of got in trouble with that whole thing, with the whole Pretty Baby thing. Now we're getting into the Blu-rays. There's some great features on the Blu-rays of these releases, and I will let you know when they're region-free releases, because some of these here have gotten North American releases as well. But I will tell you, in certain cases, even if you got the North American version, I'm going to let you know the features on there, because sometimes the features are worth picking up the film for. And first off is Graduation Day. Now this one was put out also by Vinegar Syndrome. I'm sure everybody here has seen this one, and this literally is the first in them, because they are numbered. But what makes this one worth getting, even if you got the Vinegar Syndrome edition? Well, because I'm pretty sure that that this one has something that the Vinegar Syndrome edition doesn't have, and that is the Scream Queens Horror Heroines Exposed. So there is a documentary on Scream Queens. It runs, if I'm correct, around 80 to 90 minutes long, so it is a full feature-length documentary. Aside from that, it's got a ton of features on here, including the brand new 4K restoration, Graduation Memories, exclusive interview with author and critic Justin Kurzweil, which that one is actually probably an exclusive to this, because I find the Justin Kurzweil stuff is usually exclusive to the Vinegar, to the 80 film stuff. Introduction about like Coffin, creator of Toxic Avenger, of course. Interview with Scream Queen Linnea Quigley. The Cannibal Lesbian Hoedown, which of course has nothing to do with this movie, but it was put on the trauma edition of this. There's also a Traumatic Classroom, the Arm Rip, theatrical trailer, 88 films reel, reversible sleeve, collector's booklet by Callum Waddle, and featuring an in-depth interview with Graduation star Patch McKenzie. Yeah, Christopher George was in this one, actually good. Now the early editions of these had these little kind of small, they're going to look around, kind of remind you Twilight Time booklets. I don't know about CRT TVs, I'd be honest with you, Alan. I play mine on my flat screen, so that would be. And you can see like it's small writing, but they're actually really good, really well written, extremely well done. It was a lot of times it was Waddle that did it. Now for early releases like this, the only difference in this cover and the reversible cover is they would remove this here tag, which had to be on the outside of it. But definitely a really good release, and to get like a full feature-length documentary on there as well, that's pretty baller. It's pretty awesome. Finished watching Resident Evil movies. Oh, nice. I haven't watched those in a long time. I think I may have missed one too. Next up is one that I really like. I mean, I really like this film. This is number 2 in the Slasher Classics collection. And just so you know, this one is what region? It is all region, the same as the last one. So it's, the Blu-ray is region ABC, so you can get it in North American, and it is Mother's Day. I love this one. I remember when I was at the trauma table up in Montreal one year, At the Horror Fest, I grabbed like a few pins. One of the pins was the head of that right there, and I gave that to my son actually, the Mother's Day pin. There are some good features on here as well, including audio commentary with Charles Kaufman, who directed this film. This is a really good film, highly underrated in my opinion. There is a Charles Kaufman intro, Rex piano intro, behind the scenes Super 8 footage. Eli Roth on Mother's Day was actually really good. Eli Roth's a really good talker. Charles Kaufman and Darren Bozeman talk Mother's Day. Theatrical trailer, TV spots, Graduation Day trailer, 88 Films trailer reel, collector's booklet featuring an in-depth conversation with Screaming Queen Nancy Hendrickson. Ah, there you go. See, 13 Wolfman, 18 Wolfman. Like, yeah. So here we can see the Mother's Day booklet. So this one has a booklet as well. Hey, this is a good one, Ricky. If you haven't checked out Mother's Day, definitely worth checking out. Again, there's nothing really to show you different on the alternate artwork. It's just they take out the slasher classics and they take out the 18 there, and they just have like the unadulterated artwork. In a way, it's very much, that's what it's supposed to be. It's very much like a horror's version of Whistler's Mother. That definitely it's what they're going for. So good eye for catching that, Alan. Next up is number 3, and actually Chris, I think Chris is still here. He asked me about this one tonight, and I said it's a bad movie, but in a very, very good way. And that is Don't Go in the Woods Alone. Now, Don't Go in the Woods Alone is not a good movie, but it is a great bad movie, and you will have fun watching it. It's odd, it's unusual, it makes little sense at sometimes, but you're hypnotized to the screen because just like Gun Massacre and it's much more watchable than Things, but still than films of that ilk. It is bad, but it's bad in a good way. Cheese, exactly. It is the best cheese imaginable. So Vinegar Syndrome did Don't Go in the Woods as well. Feature-wise, I think they're pretty much the same, even the same transfer. 2K restoration by director James Bryan. Audio commentary with director James Bryan. There's a group commentary with Duran Miller, Mary Gail Arts, and James Bryan. Some making of Don't Go in the Woods. I think that runs about an hour, if I remember correctly. Talk show appearances on here as well. There is a booklet on here. That would be the one difference. And this one here is an ABC release. So you can go on and get this one either way. Again, the alternate artwork is just the artwork with the Slasher Classics collection, the 18 taken off of there. But definitely one to look into, especially if you like booklets and stuff like that. Then this is a pretty cool addition. That being said, the Vinegar Syndrome halfway to Black Friday sale is coming up. This is probably going to be on sale. No, it's going to be on sale. The cover's the way. Yes, it is. It's much like movies like The Forest, where I think all the work went into the cover, and then for the movie they were just like, yeah, whatever. Next up is one that I had to have twice. Actually, I like the rate. I know where I'm not from the UK or Australia, I actually like the ratings on covers because I guess it's a curio for me, and I kind of dig it because I know like it's like an import release, and I'm always excited when I get import releases. No, it's bad. But it's fun. I mean, it's like what can get what's the most dangerous thing for like a mountain man monster killer? Pointy stick. That's what it is. Okay, so next up is Splatter University. Now this one was put out by Vinegar Syndrome as well. Great edition by Vinegar Syndrome too. There is something on this if you're a fan of this film and this comes up for like an inexpensive price. Look into it, and there's a reason for that actually. So aside from like, well, there's no booklet in this one. It does have the same alternate artwork as Vinegar Syndrome. It has the Elizabeth Catane artwork. But one thing that this one has that Vinegar Syndrome one doesn't have, and I think they both have the pluses and minuses, to be honest with you, is that it has an extra film on here. So Richard Haynes did a film later on called What Really Frightens Me. Pretty low budget. I enjoyed it. But it's a very low budget film, much like a regional horror film type of thing. There's some like dodgy effects in it, but in a weird way, it might have been a better film than Splatter University. Though I think I like Splatter University better because I just like that fromage of cheesiness that is the slasher genre at times. So feature-wise, we got a brand new 2K restoration from the 60mm positive. This one is an ABC release, so you can buy this one if you're in North America. Audio commentary by director Richard Haynes, splatter scholar interview slasher expert Justin Kurzweil. I think that's exclusive to this release right here, actually. I haven't seen that, actually. I haven't seen By God. I haven't seen a lot recently. I go to bed and I'm like getting ready to watch a movie because I'm researching some stuff for a couple of videos that I'm doing in the near future, and I pass out before I even get the movie in. I pass out. I gotta catch up some stuff. I've been trying to get through the Pretty Peaches trilogy for like a while now, and wrap my head around how to make a video on that one. But yeah, I'm eventually getting there. So yeah, that's some exclusive features on here. Next up's another one that's available on Vinegar soon. This one you can just choose whichever one you want, really. But I grabbed this one when I was in London. I went and grabbed a lot of these here. There's a big sale going on 8 films at the time. I did not pick up Beyond the Door. I wish I did. I could not afford it. Didn't have the bones right now. It's on YouTube. I'll try to check it out. I'm like so behind Ricky right now. I got like a few videos that I'm doing. Plus I'm eventually gonna be doing like I'm doing a director series too. So I've been reading some stuff as well. I managed to come across a Dark Side magazine with a Jess Franco like influence, like Jess Franco pretty much retrospective on it. I'm really finding it hard to get through Pretty Peaches 3. It's not exactly the best film, and I'm trying to find like a structure for that. I do have the Shudder streaming app, actually. Yeah. Oh, there's some. A lot of times I think they were involved. They were involved with the scan. Now the next one here is also on Vinegar Stream. This is Splatter. This is Slaughterhouse. So Slaughterhouse is honestly it's okay. I got to rewatch it again. I saw it right after I bought this disc, and I thought it was okay, but a lot of people really swear by this one. Honestly, I can't remember this very well, to be completely bluntly honest with you. That could be where I'm a little bit groggy tonight too. There's a Rick Rosler interview on here, audio commentary by Rick Rosler and Jerry Inco. There's a Jerry Inco interview, raw on-set footage. Buddy meets the public. Buddy, of course, is the killer there. Buddy is an axe to grind, a big axe. And let's see, there is a booklet with Slaughterhouse. So you're like me, 31 man. You don't really remember that well. Was he only 5'8" in real life? That's like my height. So we'd be like eye to eye. We wouldn't be because I have horrible posture. So when I'm standing around, I'm hunched a lot. I'm like a Peter Bagg cartoon. Deep cut for people that get the Peter Bagg reference. And if you do get the Peter Bagg reference, you're cool in my book. It was a comic that I used to read called Hate. You ready for the next one? Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. Now this one I do 110% recommend you pick up from 88 Films. There's a reason, there's a great reason. This has one of the best features that you're going to get on any of these discs. Like get yourself the Graduation Day one with the Scream Queen documentary. Yeah, you know you're going to want that if you're a Scream Queen fan. But this is aside from this being like a fun, weird little film that's almost film noir-esque in that one. Danush, you got this one? And by the way, just so you know, this is this region free though? Nope, this one is region 2. This one is region locked, but it's a good one. There's something on this that will make some people that don't have a region free player want to get a region free player. I'm not even joking. There's a really cool feature on here, and I'm going to mention it last. So other features on here, there's a A brand new director overseeing restoration, 5.1 sound. Booklet notes is on here as well. There's an audio commentary with Pharaohs of Pitt and Dave Dakota, original theatrical trailer. There's audio commentary with genre expert Callum Waddle, director of Slice and Dice, the slasher film forever, which I do own. It's actually not a bad documentary. And Justin Kurzweil, author of Teenage Wasteland. Pharaohs of Pitt's Night Owl Theater, remembering James Hooker's 27 years later. Active archive making of documentary, Russell Steve and poster art. You should be able to tell. I know like 220 Electronics does a lot of like region free stuff. I found like I've like stumbled across stuff here in Canada back when region free stuff was easier to find. But what's really cool about this one here? What's really cool about this release here? The new, if you got this one, you know this already. So Linnea Quigley, Scream Queen Linnea Quigley did something that I find utterly enjoyable and fun and cheesy and great. And she did Linnea Quigley's horror video workout. I'm not joking. That was the thing she did, a horror video workout. It was put on VHS. So she did that. It was like really cool, really fun, really cheesy. It's Linnea Quigley. It's a horror video workout. But not only did he put the entire workout video on here, and it's really worth seeing, but the video, the Linnea Quigley's horror video workout, actually gets its very own commentary as well. So you're not going to just get the movie and all those features that I told you about, those features on the movie. You're also going to get the horror video workout and a commentary for the. There's a lot of running in the workout. There is running from things, right? As well. So there is a booklet in here too. And as for the alternate artwork, there's not a lot huge difference. I mean, it's just the cleaned up artwork from the outside. With, you know, without the Slasher Classics Collection banner on it. And I don't know about you, but if I buy a Slasher Classic Collection, then I want to make sure the Slasher Classics Collection banner is showing on that case. So Linnea Quigley's horror video workout. I picked this up, I turned it around, I remember being at sort of time. I could not believe, I hadn't seen this in years, the whole VHS like thing that I'd seen like years upon years ago. I couldn't believe it was here. And definitely worth checking out. See, I do bring the deep cuts for you. I do promise you that. Next one is a region free release that it actually says there. And this one, it was so good, it was such a fun film that it made it onto my it actually became the banner. One of the lines of this film sort of became one of my vlogcast lines. So that is Gun Massacre. Now, Gun Massacre is a really fun film. You've got like this, cheaper than a chainsaw. No crap. Yes, it is. It's a fun film. Great stuff on this. We've got auto commentary with Sarah Continues, auto commentary with Texas Frightmare Weekend creator Lloyd Cryer. There's an Alamo Drafthouse screening here. Interview with director Terry Lofton. Interview with special effects and makeup supervisor Whitey Thomas. Locations of Gun Massacre featurette Q&A hosted by Joe Bob Briggs himself, the man. So if you're a Joe Bob Briggs fan, you're going to want to check this out. Gun Massacre, it's a great mess though. It's a brilliant film. And it's a film like it leans toward who the killer is almost throughout the entirety of the film, only to do like a 180 at the end of the film and make the killer someone totally different. Making you think either that person took was the killer and it didn't make much sense, or that person wasn't the killer and they took the rap for somebody else. Could I do an 80s and 70s action comedies? I can actually. I will do that one down the road too. And there is an alternate artwork, and I will show you here. Hopefully you can see that okay through there. I do like the artwork there. But Gun Massacre, I think this was put out as well by, I'm not sure, maybe by Severin. But I don't think it was Vinegar Center for this one. Again, really good release, worth checking out. if you're a slasher fan, it should be something that you have in your collection, because it's it's both good and bad enough that you got it. Code Red, thank you, Dwayne. I knew it was one of those companies. Next up is one that came out from Scream Factory, actually. And though I don't really consider this one a slasher, it's more of a thriller, much in the vein of a Southern. It's a remake, actually, of a film. So it's called Dead of Winter. And Dead of Winter is a remake of an old film called My Name is Julie Ross, which if you had the Criterion channel ever, like Criterion Stream channel, this was one of the ones that the... How do I organize my collection? I organize, like, the brunt of my collection is organized by company, because I do tend to focus on a lot of genre boutique companies. The other stuff that I have is done normally by, like, my 4K stuff is just like all the 4K stuff together, because there's not a lot of that at this point. But I do try to go company first. If anything's not company, then I try to do it by genre, or like steelbooks. How steelbooks go together. And my horror, I got all my horror in one collection. On my Doctor Who, on my wrestling, all that. So once all my animations over there. So I go for company first, because you get like the lineup. They look good when you. I hate when people go alphabetically and they go, "Hey there, Jacob," and they go outside of of company. So then you're seeing like a Scream Factory here and a Mondo there and a Synapse there. Drives me up the wall. Like I will go see, these here are numbered, so it makes it really easy. So when you got a numbered release, like Vinegar Syndrome, every one of the Vinegar Syndrome releases, they're numbered too. So they got smaller numbers, but they're numbered. I always go Vinegar Syndrome numbered. I'll put I'll get the cases that I have like the slips first, and then I'll do the regular one. Then I'll do the regular ones. The only time I'll do an alphabet by alphabet is if I'm going with like when I'm going to like maybe or just a regular release stuff, where there's no like numbers or anything on that. Now, Dead of Winter is Region B, but you can get this one, Chris, on Scream Factory. How can you alphabetize? You monster, you Jathan. I can't do that. And the reason is obvious. It's because because then you got to take I cannot. I can't. These are red cases. That would not look right, having like a red case here and then a regular case and then another red case. MVD Midnight Movie Sale. I just heard about it. So this is the other artwork for Dead of Winter. It's a really good film, by the way. It's got Mary Steenburgen in this one, from, of course, Back to the Future 3, which is underrated. Underrated Back to the Future. And it has like the great Roddy McDowall in a fantastic role. If you haven't checked this one out, a really good one too. Yeah, like you can see like in the background, all my arrows got its own shelf, and it's going to need more than the shelf if I keep my arrow like this. Next up is an Uli Lummel film, and Time After Time is an incredible film. And probably one of Uli Lummel's best films. I really, 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 one of the things on my wish list, the movies that I want to see come out, is the sequel to this film on Blu-ray. For some reason, it's not out yet. Like every other film by Uli Lummel's come out, but the sequel to this one hasn't. And this is The Boogeyman. I do like this movie. It is cheesy, and there are scenes in it that just will make you shake your head. And it's a great movie to watch when you got a bunch of friends around. You're having whether you're having some drinks or cola, whatever you want, whatever your choice is, and watch this film. It's got like a John Carradine role in here as well, so that's always a good thing. Boogeyman's a fun little film. Now this one here is a region-free release, so you can play this one on your player. So if you live in North America, still good. Got DVD with both movies. Actually, sort of. The DVD, I got the DVD too. What you got is Boogeyman and Return of the Boogeyman. Return of the Boogeyman is actually the third film, and it's comprised of a lot of footage from the first film and some new original footage put in. The actual Boogeyman 2, as far as I know, unless it got a German release or something like that, hasn't been released on Blu-ray yet, or even on DVD, I think. I could be wrong with that though. But if you got the one I got, 13 Wolfman, because I had like one too, and I got it here somewhere. It's like Boogeyman and Return of the Boogeyman. But remember, Return of the Boogeyman is not Boogeyman 2. you'll know Boogeyman 2 when you see it. Just trust me, you'll know. Oh man, will you know. Many flamethrower horror films. Not a lot, actually. Don't Go in the House? Yeah, so that's what comes to mind, really, when I think about it. Exterminator. We call it Exterminator horror film so much. But, and I'd really, it's Exterminator 2 that has the big real big flamethrower scene in it. But definitely more than the first Exterminator, like if I remember it correctly. But those are two films that have like big flamethrower sequences. The Thing, I guess, has a flamethrower sequence. So Boogeyman is a really fun, kind of cool, cheesy little film. The original Ben or Wheeler. It's been a long time since I've seen those films, so I don't remember. We got it's region free. We got a 88 films trailer reel. Not a lot of features on this one. Interview with the director, but there's a booklet on here, in here as well, and it is thicker than a lot of the other booklets that are on here. As you know, most of the booklets are just like 4 pages. I think this one runs around 8 or 12 pages. So really cool, really well done. I love this cover. You see, like normally I'll put the Slasher Classics Collection one on the outside, and I do that. But I didn't like the cover for the Slasher Classics Collection right here. This cover sucks. So this cover, that's the cover I know. Zamba Uli Lamo, he was at the time was with a girl named Suzanne Love. She's extremely rich. She was a hair, and she bankrolled a lot of these movies. So if you have seen the movie Olivia, or you noticed it from Vinegar Syndrome recently, or you're in the UK and you saw the movie Prazi from 88 Films, that's an Uli Lamo film starring Suzanne Love as well, who stars in The Boogeyman right here. Worth seeing, and definitely has kind of like tries to do almost like a nightmare, a Halloween type of vibe at the beginning of the film. It's really weird, very oddly done. Next up is one with special effects by Tom Savini. Pretty decent one. I do have to say though, this one's region free. From what I heard, this one was a bit cut, but I think it was like the most uncut release that they could get, or the one most uncut release over in the UK. And that's Blood-Sucking Pharaohs of Pitt in Pittsburgh. Don't you love that cover? Isn't that like an amazing cover? Feature-wise, you're going to get a brand new restoration, new interview with effects legend Tom Savini, animated stills gallery, behind-the-scenes footage, deleted scenes, interview with Dean Tscheiter, I'm going to go with. That's the director's name. That's a terrible film. And is there alternate artwork? There is actually. Actually, not bad alternate artwork, so we'll show it to you. This is the alternate artwork. So this is another one where I'm going to think you're going to say where they spent all the money on the artwork and not on the film, right? And probably some of the effects as well. And one of those lost ones for some reason, like wasn't like shown for like a. You didn't hear about this one for a long period of time, and all of a sudden like it just came out. I don't remember if I watched this one yet actually. I think I started to, but I was actually tired and fell asleep. So I don't think I've gotten through this one yet. I'll be brutally honest about films that I have in my collection. This one I have watched though, and I actually like this film. This is a Region B release, which is a shame. I'm guessing this one. I think this was out in North America by a company as well. And you guys, I'm sure you guys will know right away. What's my thoughts on the film Skidside? If you're talking about the Pete Walker film Skidside, I love that film. It's the name gives a bit of the twist away, but I actually really like I like Pete Walker a lot actually. I think his stuff is really good. Skidside and The Comeback are two movies, like if you're a slasher fan, that type of stuff, then yeah, those two are like high on the list, especially if it's kind of like English Giallo is what it is, and definitely worth checking out. Next up is Nightmares in a Damaged Brain. Now this is one of those movies that I liked. I'd seen it years ago, did not remember the name of the film, and when I got to watching it, I'd remember that there had been like a trailer thing, like almost like where they show like spooky scenes for different films, and one of the scenes was like the clear masked killer in this from this film, and I was like, oh damn, it's that film, that's the film. So Nightmares in Damaged Brain. I actually did like this one. Region B release, Terror in Times Square Guide to Nightmare's Grindhouse Kingdom. Excellent, kind of a cool featurette there. Audio commentary with associate producer Bill Paul. I haven't listened to that actually. Interview with Tom Ward, CEO of 21st Century Films. Original trailer, 88 films trailer reel, as reversible sleeve with alternate US UK artwork. So let's check that out. Hate that artwork, but right on. Love this artwork though, which is really, really good. And yes, at this point, they were still doing the booklet. I know I cannot say that I've ever seen like a cat version. My better half, that sounds like something she like. She loves cats, man. I love cats too, but she loves like cat videos and stuff like that. All right, let's go through the final like amount of these like here before we hit into the Mondo Macabro stuff. Next up's a box set from 88 Films. My kids hate the first film in this box set. They were so pissed when we watched this because I fell asleep and they stayed up and watched it. And that is Children of the Corn trilogy. So I love the way that the box set is done. It looks so much like a Stephen King novel cover, and I'm digging on that. Hey there, Brian, man, welcome. So I love the way that's done. Yes, the red cases are still there, so you're not missing out on red cases at that point. Go through 3 of these here. This is the first one, Children of the Corn, and feature-wise, actually, it's really good. There is a life, legacy, and legend of Donald P. Borchers on here. He's the producer of the Children of the Corn series. Yours are blue, really? I think they ran out of like red cases, so now the newer ones like are in blue cases or clear cases. But the original run of these were red. But he only didn't just produce the Children of the Corn stuff. He did like Doppelganger, Crimes of Passion with Ken Russell, the Angel. Remember the Angel box set that came out recently? Children of the Corn, Tomb of Junction, Vamp. Worked with a bunch of people. A lot of people talking about him on here. Corey Feldman, Concrete Blonde vocalist, director of Vamp, the composer of Children of the Corn. Just a bunch of people talking about him as well. Great documentary. Recommend you check it out. A reason to get this release. I'm not sure why you didn't get the red ones then. You might have wanted to let them know about that one, or maybe you're. See, I order mine directly from the company. If you bought yours, maybe you bought yours in. Did you buy yours in the store, or did you order it from the company? Because I know that there was a bunch of them that went out later that had blue cases. The only other way I can see them having blue cases is if they put out some in retail stores, and the retail store one didn't have the red case. Maybe they made that like an exclusive for the web store. I'm just kind of freeballing ideas there. But no, these are the original cases that came with this one. Amazon, that's probably why then. Or Amazon switch out the cases on you, man. But these are the original cases. I bought this from, I pre-ordered this one when it came out from the company itself. So that is the kind of the crux of the features, though. Not a lot of features on the other one. So this is Children of the Corn, the Final Sacrifice. It includes a work print. Now this is a neat feature on this one. First Children of the Corn is a great movie. I like the second one too a lot, actually. My kids hate the first one. Let's be honest with you. That's the truth. The fact that they actually put a work print, I really love when they do that. But there we go. Next up is one of my favorites, Children of the Corn, Urban Harvest. I actually really dig this one. Feature-wise, there's an interview on here, I think, pretty much. Yeah, Return to the Corn, the Reinvention of Fear franchise. But this is mostly talking about their Children of the Corn remake that's on here. Oh, no, definitely post it to a Facebook. That's definitely appreciated. Anytime. You don't have, unless I'm doing an After Dark one, then you probably want to post that one. But this, then you can definitely post there. Have I seen Ip Man 4? Not yet. Ip Man. No, I haven't seen it yet. All right. Are these out of order? Let me check on the numbering of these. Yeah, these two are out of order. I'm really kind of retentive about the numbering. So next up is one that I got the Scream Factory edition of, but because I wanted the covers and I wanted the exclusive like interviews with Kurzweil, I had to grab these here as well. So this is Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Camper, right? Yeah. So this, of course, this actress is not in the film. She was like a model that was used for the cover. You usually see this on like on the cheaper release of Sleepaway Camp too when you find it in the store. I do love the alternate artwork here, so I will definitely show you this. It's one of the reasons that I picked this release up. So Nightmare Vacation 2. Oh, the box set. That was the cool one, the one with the Red Cross symbol on it. I'm a huge Sleepaway Camp fan. I'm a big fan of this franchise, so it was a no-brainer that I was going to pick up like these releases as well. So as much Sleepaway Camp information as I can get. I would definitely do a Sleepaway Camp oriented video down the road. As I mentioned to Chris earlier, which I was going to mention on here later, I am going to eventually be doing a kind of my favorite slashers video when I'm going to go through my favorite slashers and slasher releases in my collection. So you're going to get like a lot of stuff from a lot of different companies at that point. Next up is Sleepaway Camp 3 Teenage Wasteland. Again, I do love this cover, especially like the screaming face and the knife. It's just those little touches that I find really cool. I won't take the case thing, but here is the alternate artwork right there. And again, it has an interview with on here, but this time it's an interview with academic Mikhail Koven. Deleted scenes on here as well, of course, because this one was highly censored back in the day. And I do really enjoy this film here. So this is the alternate artwork, and I do like it. Though this artwork here definitely reminds me more of what Sleepaway Camp 4, that unfinished film, kind of look like. All right, next up is going to be certain films have several alternate movie titles. Sometimes it can be just like a rights issue. Other times maybe like the movie titles are switched in different countries. When Dario Argento made the movie Tenebrae, Tenebrae was a very foreign sounding name. So when they brought it over to North America, they called it Unsane, for instance. And there's many like times like that, Lilla Casa film series and all that type of stuff. I'll get into that sometime, actually. It's actually a really interesting question. Next up is Scalps. Is this a good film? It's okay. I enjoy this because I got kind of like I got kind of the warm, touchy feelings about this film because I'd seen it in my youth. I think this came in the 90s, like or 80s. Was it 80s or 90s for this one here? 83, yeah. So wow, so yeah, because it was my youth, so it had to be in the 80s. So we got like a 2K restoration, auto commentary with the director on here. Remembering Scalp's new 22-minute retrospective. Justin Kurzweil on Scalp's a slasher expert's view. I really got to rewatch this one again. Like the first time I saw this, I liked it, and then I remember people saying, "Oh well, Scalps is a horrible movie." And I'm like, maybe Scalps is a horrible movie. I was getting swayed by opinion, but I had to watch this one again myself. It had a neat little like insert here. Ooh. Fatal and Array is usually fun. I mean, like that's the thing. Fatal and Array movies, they're not always the highest budget movies, but they're usually kind of like fun films. Well, yeah, sort of. I mean, he wrote for Once Upon a Time in the West. He was one of the writers for the film. But like he started in film in a way, like long before Once Upon a Time in the West. Dario Argento was a film critic before he went into like writing, and eventually went into directing. He started on the critic side of it. So just imagine if Roger Ebert had decided to like, okay, I've done the critic thing, now I'm going to start making a bunch of films. Of course, Roger wrote a couple films, but he didn't go on to like direct or anything like that. But Argento started as a critic in Italy, and then he became like a writer. He wrote like on certain like westerns and stuff like that, and eventually would become a director himself, and that's where he really made his mark actually. Cemetery of the Cross is one we got. Actually, Robert Hassan is in that one. It's a favorite actor of my better halves. Seen the movie Tactical Dawn, so I can't say I have seen that. The comments are slow, are a little bit slower here, so I'm missing that. Wasn't Argento in a group? Yeah, what you mean like a group? Like, oh well, Goblin. I mean, like, yeah, I guess in a way, like Goblin worked, worked with Argento a lot. Oh, he wasn't in the group, they were like they were a band that worked with a lot of his films because he started with Ennio Morricone music, and they had like a kind of riff. There was like a breakdown between Argento and Ennio Morricone, who was very famous for doing like a lot of Italian scores, but but he ended up going with Goblin, and Goblin's actually I love Ennio Morricone and I love his work, but Goblin's actually a better fit for Argento's style of work because he kind of really brought the giallos, he put them forward, and he kind of did like because a lot of giallos, like the early stuff, especially like the rich, the decadent giallo stuff, these they weren't like they weren't tame, they were tamer, and Argento became kind of like the rock star, the punk guy for making giallos, and like people kind of followed his lead. Like Umberto Lenzi and people were going to say that no, we did it. No, Argento kind of like he kind of forged his this huge place and became this like superstar for the giallo genre. So having like a heavy metal music with like either whether it's Goblin or Claudio Simonetti or something like that, from Goblin, like works completely well with his stuff. Next up is Drive-In Massacre. This is a movie I didn't think I was going to like because I didn't remember liking it that much. I remember it being kind of dry, but I really enjoyed this one actually. All Cars of Giallo. Actually, I like that one actually a lot. Have you listened to the commentary and the trailers yet by Ken Ellinger? Really good stuff. Drive-In Massacre, really fun film. What's neat about this is that it plays a bit dry. It plays as a procedural in a lot of ways. And this one here, by the way, is Region B, just to let you know. But the guy that did this, I think it was like a private investigator or cop, kind of something like that. And so that makes sense once you know that. But what's really neat about this film is that there's a bonus television cut of the film on here as well. There is a interview with the director Stu Sigwell, a Murder at the Drive-In interview with slasher expert Justin Kurzweil, who I definitely learned a lot from every time I listen to one of his interviews. Really good. And there is a kind of a small, like a really small, like 4-page booklet on here as well. I love this here. So this is done in. This is the artwork, which I love. This is the original artwork, which I guess a lot of people are more familiar with. There's just something weird and like Mad Maxian about that artwork that I like. Although this has nothing to do with Mad Max. Marketing, man. That used to be my bread and butter, Mark. So I do gotta love marketing. Next up is one that's a very special one to me because this was sent to me by a viewer, and it was a big deal because 88 Films didn't actually thought they had the rights to the film, did not have the rights to the film, had to pull the film, had already been released, had to pull it from the market, and I think take a pretty big cut, pretty big loss on it. My viewers here actually was able to snatch me up a copy before it got pulled off the shelves. What am I drinking? Fresca tonight. Tea when I go upstairs. Hot Rock Betty. I don't think I have actually. And that is Blood Harvest. I got vinegar cinnamon of this, but this one, I was super stoked to get this. As you can see, people was saying yesterday, oh, you got the cover upside down. You got the flip, you got the slip cover upside down because he's upside down. No, this is the way the cover's done. I was arrowed on that. I really am so peeved that the Django one wasn't able to be put up by Arrow. I like Blood Harvest. See, Brian, I'm going to convince you one of these days. I'll do a Blood Harvest like commentary myself or something like that. I will convince you. So on this one here, a lot of the same features that were on the Vinegar Syndrome one. There is a difference though. I'm trying to remember what it is. Because it's got the Tiny Tim Niagara Fall thing, the behind the scenes of Blood Harvest is there. On-set footage and interviews with Tiny Tim director Bill Rebane, Tiny Tim's rap party performance, Ardent Nightmare opening credits. I think that's the same. There's something on here. I think it might be I'm not sure if it's the aspect ratio or something like that, but there is a difference on here, and I don't remember what it is right now. So I do apologize. It did have a booklet too, which is killer for people that have been collecting these and want the booklets. Of course, Blood Farm is one of the other titles for this film. And there is the other alternate artwork there, which is on the Blu-ray. This one is when people ask me, are there any out of print ones that I got that I'm super stoked to have, even though I do have the Vinegar Syndrome one. I have that one here too. I do blame Blue Underground. I do blame Blue Underground. Now that is the 80 Film Slasher Classics Collection. I'm going to take a second, going to take a sip, then I'm going to get into the Mondo stuff. Got a bunch of Mondo stuff to show you guys, both DVD and Blu-ray. Mondo did a lot more DVD originally first than did Blu-ray, so I got a bunch of each. You're going to get somebody asked me earlier if I had any of the Greek Mondo Macabro stuff. I actually do. Is Tiny Tim good at acting? Tiny Tim's ahead of his time. He was an odd character, much like Kaufman and people like that. Very good at marketing himself. Acting wise, for what he did, yeah. Brian's going to say no, but Tiny Tim's character is pivotal in the film, in that nobody epitomizes what that town is going through or has gone through more than Tiny Tim. To give a quick backstory on Blood Harvest, basically what happens is this girl comes back into town. Her family, I think they owned the bank or something like that, and there was a bad, a really bad, really bad. What's the word I'm looking for? Like harvest time, basically, and a lot of farms went under. A lot of farms were foreclosed on, and the whole idea is that Tiny Tim's character, yep, that's the Tiny Tim, the guy that tiptoed through the tulips. Tiny Tim's character is this. He's like the son of these two farmers. He's got a brother, and he's kind of like a guy that used to go and entertain kids with this kind of clown character called the Marvelous Mervo. Now at this point, hard times have been hit upon these farms, and tragedy and loss, and a lot of people have been hit really hard. Tiny Tim's character is more and more sinking into the persona of the clown because of all the pressure and all the other stuff that's happened. And so you're seeing a guy with a very tentative grasp on reality. And for me, it was a really, really well done performance. That's one of my key parts about the film. I've seen all my movies, but I could keep just one. I don't know, actually. Yeah, it is. That's a great role for Tiny Tim. And although Tiny Tim gets ragged on a lot for different things, I know Brian said, well, Tiny Tim couldn't remember his lines. Tiny Tim's wasn't initially an actor, but Tiny Tim was able to get through in that performance. And in my opinion, I will stand on this hill and say this. You will get through that pathos and that kind of that aspect of the character that shouldn't. This is this is a Z-grade film. This is a regional horror film, and the fact that you get that type of performance in someone that's basically a non-actor, that's definitely a plus for me. And when I watch the film, and there's a lot of inconsistencies in the film, Tiny Tim's performance is never one of those. It's one of the things that does stand out to me for the film Blood Harvest. And one of the reasons that I've gone back and I've watched it over and over again. Tiny Tim, of course, this would be his only foray into horror, because his music would be used years later by the Blumhouse crowd in Insidious, where we get to hear Tiptoe Through the Tulips, and in a really, really creepy opening sequence for that film. Okay, before I go into the Mondo Macabro stuff, are there any last minute questions. Uh, Before I go to Mondo Macabro, do you want to just go right to Mondo Macabro? You took advantage. I'm glad. I really feel bad that I wasn't here to talk about the Mondo Macabro thing when the sale was running. I do apologize for that. I just wasn't feeling the best. And I went back. I thought about doing it last night, even though I wasn't feeling well. I looked on the website and I noticed that the site was down. Eventually, obviously, Paul, what's happening in the world right now stopped us from going anywhere. But we are eventually going to Morocco. Uh, that's a given. Who's Harry Crump? But Brian, thank you so much. I like well, I like when you drop in the Joe Bob Briggs stuff. Joe Bob Briggs, guys, is a really, really smart guy. Never look at Joe Bob Briggs and think like, oh, this is this hack kind of like he's a journalist and a film historian. And even when I don't agree with him on certain things, I really respect that guy. He really is one of those guys that put a lot of this stuff in the forefront when nobody else was doing it. He's an excellent source. X-Ray, I love X-Ray. I wouldn't say it's a good film. It's a fun film. It's got Barbie Benton, and I love Barbie Benton. I had a crush on Barbie Benton. So I would definitely, if you're looking at X-Ray to buy, yes, buy X-Ray. Okay, we're going to get to our Mondo Macabro stuff. John Candy is really here. Okay, I did not pick. Good joke. I didn't pick up on that one. All right. Now, I don't think these are in the right numerical order. They could be. I can't. Uh, I cannot say right now. But all right. So let's start off with the first one. And this is the living corpse, otherwise known as Dracula in Pakistan, or Pakistani Dracula. This is excellent. I did not realize this was going to be as good as it was. Oh, nice. WoW HD, so I'll check that out. This is a fun one. It is definitely leaning more towards the Hammer side of Dracula. There's a couple of musicals, it is a Pakistani Dracula film. The first one, by the way, this was their first horror film. And there are features on this thing. So there is a documentary on South Asian horror on here as well. There is an audio commentary, theatrical trailer, exclusive gallery of rare stills and posters. A lost song sequences on here as well. If you open up the Mondo Macabro ones, they do have kind of like a sort of look to them, where they'll have the walled side of world cinema. It's a great one. Ricky, if it comes up again, definitely recommend you check it out. Me and my better half, this was when we got our Mondo Macabro bunch. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, when I first got to Nova Scotia, the very first year that I was here, Mondo Macabro had a sale around Christmas time. So what my better half did was she really went into Mondo Macabro. Not as bad as the Bollywood Project, not that much songs, but there's a couple. They don't like. It's actually a good film, Paul. Definitely worth checking out. But they had a really big sale, and she got me like Mondo Macabro. My entire Christmas was like, at a bunch of other stuff. We had like Super Mario and stuff like that. But Mondo Macabro was like was the big thing that year. Next up is a double feature. I got this one from my better half, but I like it as well. It is super crazy. I'm pretty sure Brandon Tenold, good YouTuber by the way. She's amazing. I'm a lucky man. Reviewed both of these films actually. So you got Weng Weng, the famous Weng Weng here, and For Your Height Only is Weng Weng's spy film, which does the James Bond type role, and Bruce Lee in Challenge of the Tiger. But not just Bruce Lee in the Bruce Exploitation one, but there's other big actors in this one as well. Richard Harrison, I think, is in this one. Is here somewhere? It's got to be here somewhere. Yeah, Richard Harrison. Definitely an interesting film. Two films. It is from Dick Randall did these. He produced both of these films, I think. So it's a Dick Randall Collection Volume 3. I don't have any other Dick Randall Collection volumes. But I was excited to get this because I'd seen like many reviews on these. I hadn't owned the films, I hadn't actually watched the actual films themselves until I got them, and it is so fun. It is such fun. There is a the challenge of the Tiger one. There's oh god, is it like a naked tennis match or something like that? That's going on, and it's a weird film by these two girls, so like naked tennis match by these two ladies. This is one of the more artsy films. Brian, you might like this one. You like the artsier stuff, right? So this is by Juan Lopez. I'm gonna mess up this last name. Moctezuma. So he made a couple like big ones. One of these biggest is El Yucarta, which I do not have. But this was a weird film. Took me a while to get into this one. Actually, the interview with Del Toro on this one as well. Actually, Del Toro's on there. Interview with the director, with the film's director as well. There's actually even a text interview with the director too, like as a bonus. And you get English language, Spanish, Spanish like language choices, and it is The Mansion of Madness. Weird cover. I did like it. It was just it took me a while to get into it. Strange film. Strange film. But that director is known for this stuff. He's known for like having this kind of weird like acid trip style films that he does. And if you've seen El Yucarta, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, next up is one that they put out on Blu-ray recently. So if you were managed to get the Blu-ray one of this one, kudos. I got the original DVD release. I do need to upgrade this to Blu-ray. The name of this film was actually the inspiration for a character in Robert Rodriguez's film, Check New Wave. Which one? The Mansion of Madness? Oh, I gotta go back on that one. I'll find out. And that is Santanico Pandemonium, who of course is a character played by Salma Hayek in From Dusk to Dawn. But so that's where they got the name from. So again, odd film, but like this film. It's just one of those kind of, again, you know, these, how am I going to put this? I guess nunsploitation films. And I'm a big nunsploitation person. I got to rewatch this. I haven't seen this one since I first got it, about 3 years ago. And it's one. There's a featurette on here on nunsploitation movies, which I don't have a lot of. You got the Blu-ray, nice. What's the Mexican? Which one's Mexican? The Mansion of Madness. Yeah. And this one too, I think actually. That's the good thing about Mondo Macabro is they do like films from across the world. Is anybody interested in a nunsploitation video down the road? Because I can look into that if that's something that you guys are interested in, or is that just a little too far out there? Sort of not what you're expecting from a nunsploitation film. It's different, but it's good though. It's good. It's a very different film. On the back they say in the spirit of Ken Russell's the Devils. Have I seen School? Oh, yes, a long time, a while back. But I don't own it. I don't own School of the Holy Beast. I should. The best way. Next up is the very first Mondo Macabro I bought. I bought it totally by accident. Did not know what Mondo Macabro was when I got this film. I was very interested in finding out after I got this film, though, because I was super into this movie when I watched it. I go back and forth on Killer Nun Paul. Sometimes I really like it, and other times it's tame. It's kind of like. So it's I go back and forth, but great acting in that film. Anita Strindberg, I think, is in Killer Nun. So Don't Deliver Us from Evil. Really did like this film. Really like kind of stood out. Enjoyed this movie a heck of a lot. It's one of those movies that like had a ton of controversy back in the day. I think this was like got pulled, got banned in certain places. It's not really like that bad. I know, you know, they said a ban for blasphemy, but I actually love this film. Great actors, great acting in this film. Very, very well done. If you've never seen that, I definitely recommend checking it out. And I agree with Ricky here. I would love to see a Blu-ray release of Don't Deliver Us from Evil. I got this one here. The only secondhand Mondo Macabro that I got. Hey, welcome, Eric. Welcome here to the Cult Cinema. So the next one is one that I think everybody that gets Mondo Macabro releases, they normally pick this one up within their first round of buys. And there's a reason for it. Some of these are supposed to be controversial films. Don't Deliver Us From Evil was definitely supposed to be a controversial film. Now, but the thing, Mondo Macabro isn't out for, they're not just putting out controversial films. That isn't their bag. Basically, the guy that started Mondo Macabro, he wrote a book first on world cinema, like cinema from around the world. And that book, coincidentally enough, is called Mondo Macabro. He realized when he was writing and researching the book that as he was looking for these world cinema films, these films from, no, these genre films from across the world, nobody was putting out. They weren't being represented. So he said, okay, if nobody's representing these films, if there's not somebody that's actually putting them out, there's a marketplace there. I can't be the only one looking for them. And he started doing it himself. So he started up a label called Mondo Macabro, inspired by his research when he was making the book. A little bit of backstory on the Mondo Macabro company. Doing Satan's work. I love that line. Next up is Mystics in Bali. And I'm pretty sure if you've got a Mondo Macabro collection, this is probably in it. It is an insane film, but it is fun as hell. You've probably seen clips somewhere from this film, whether it's on like... It is so cool. It is so fun. Basically, there's this girl. She comes to interview this... oh God, what's it? She's like a sorcerer or like a witch or something like that. What does she call it? If you remember the terrifying cult of Layak. No, this is definitely not a Bollywood film. But, oh, dude, Ricky. So the neat thing about this is that she's possessed. She's taken over by this by this character, and at night her head and her and what's the word? Her, I guess her guts or spleen, whatever you want to call it, kind of comes off out of her body and floats around and like bites people and stuff like that. I'm not joking. This is a film. This is something that happens in this film. It's definitely worth seeing. It's got some really wacky and weird special effects in it. I recommend it. And the thing, it runs like, God, what's the length on this one? 86 minutes. So, you know, it's a sweet spot for an exploitation film, especially this type. A good film to watch with a bunch of friends. Like, it's one of those things where, like, they're not going to believe you're going to put on. But it is so good. The special effects, they're pretty bad. I mean, like, they're early special effects. But you got to remember, this is 1981. It's in an Indonesian film. Yeah, Mondo Macabro's films they've got films from across the world here. And you notice that they'll normally have the country, like Don't Deliver Us From Evil, from France, for instance, on the back there. And if you think Mystic of Bali is the most insane film, it's one of the most insane films, but it's not the most insane film in the Mondo Macabro collection, well, that might be the next one I got here. Definitely one of the most insane films coming up. And that is a film that's not at all what you think it is. And that is Lady Terminator. So anybody remember Lady Terminator? Or if you've not seen this movie, especially if you've not seen this movie and you don't know anything about it, what do you think this is about? Don't say it yet, Amy. Somebody that has not seen this movie, if there's anybody here that's not seen and don't know about this movie, what do you think this movie's about? What type of film do you think this is? Sir Connor. If you thought that it was a film about a girl that's possessed by the Queen of the South Sea and has a possessed downstairs area, then yes, you're right. It is about a girl that has kind of a possessed downstairs area. I'm not joking. That's a part of the film. That's the thing in this film. It's called Lady Terminator. But no, you definitely don't put this on for the kiddies. So it, you know, there's lots of action and fighting and shooting and all that type of stuff in there, but it's definitely one to check out. This is one that I'm not sure. It's an Indonesian film. Yeah, she takes her eyeballs off. It's such a fun film, and if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. There is a documentary on here on Indonesian exploitation films, which you'll watch and you'll look at it and you'll say, you know what, I got to get some more Indonesian exploitation films. But you'll be glad that you own Lady Terminator. It's a really, really cool release. Now, just so you know, most of these are You say NTSC, but they say all region. Not at all like Chatterbox, no. Dude with the big nose is great, actually is. Okay, next up is one from the UK, actually. My thanks, Alan. Hopefully, yeah. So the guy there was a shooting recently here in Nova Scotia, the worst yeah, that we've had in Canada, shooting wise, I think in a very long time, and 23 people were killed. So he planned it, and he went to a little different communities. So there's a body count. First we thought it was like only 13, and then the body count went up as we found out more on the information, including an RCMP officer that was killed as well. I had to call like my friends, my kids, and stuff like that to make sure that everybody was okay. And luckily, I'm blessed that they were. So that's a good thing. In my opinion, and this is the only thing that I'll say on this aspect of it as well, is I seriously think after this we should just go the Australia route when it comes to gun control, and then I won't go because I don't talk politics or anything. That's my thoughts on that, and not a debating thing, just my thoughts. But yeah, that's the very Jim Jeffries. There we go. Still a bit of a thanks, Al, but it's still a bit of a hard subject right now. Yeah, the Australia a few years back they had a really bad massacre, like a really bad one. So what they did was they had kind of buyback gun thing, and if you were found with with a gun or anything like that, they had fines. I know we're talking about small fines. We're talking about like $30,000-$40,000 fines. So if you had enough money to pay for that fine, you probably didn't need to rob anybody in the first place. So yeah, so that's the way they went. You can look it up more, actually. There's actually a lot more. I'm not getting into it too much, but it's still a bit of a sore spot with me right now. Obviously, it's only a couple days in, so it's been like it's if I seem a bit more like harsh on that subject, that's the reason. And I'm sure there's some people who can come on here and like just totally hate that I said that, and unsubscribe or something like that, which I hope isn't the case. Because if you have a differing opinion, that's okay. It's okay to have a different opinion. It's just right now it's really raw around here where it's just happened. There's a lot of stuff going on. No, they didn't, and I'll be honest with you, Ragman. I don't, and I'll be blunt. I don't want to know, and I hope, and this is the thing that I hope. And this is why I don't watch a lot of I don't watch Tiger King. I watch a lot of the true crime documentaries. Is that the more and more of that stuff that they've put out, is that the more the glamorize the people that are doing the stuff. So, in my personal opinion, when it comes to stuff like that, once the families are made aware and give consent, yeah, show the victims and not the victims like after, but show the pictures of the victims when they're alive, and talk about their life. Completely ignore the person that committed the horrible crime. I don't want to give him any more moments of glory or moments, even after death, of thought, because then that's exactly what somebody like that wants, and so that's that's why I've never been into that. My mom's a big true crime person though, but just wasn't me. But there, I hope that that gets I didn't mean to make it uncomfortable. I hope I didn't. But that's just my thoughts on on what's going on right now. Yeah, honor the victims, ignore the monster that did it. All right, don't open till Christmas. There we go, back to normal stuff. All right, I do apologize. Yeah, Dave. Actually, it was kind of neat because I wrote something on my Facebook about that exact same thing, and 10 minutes later, my better half she was watching the news, and she's like, "The Prime Minister just said what you said." I was like, "That's cool." So don't open until Christmas. Really cool one, by the way. pretty sure this was it. So Edmund Purdom, like stars in this. He directed it. Oh no, that's definitely okay to say. Back to fun stuff. Right on. This is what we're here for. We're here for the fun. Oh, dude, this is a cool one. Get this one. This is like just fun cheese. There's like an hour-long documentary on here too, but with this film, and it is such a cool film. It's a differently done film, and there's a couple murders there that like make you wince. There's one in particular. If you're a guy, it's gonna make you wince. I'm not gonna lie. Carolyn Monroe's in this, the gorgeous Carolyn Monroe. So you got to have it for that as well. Belinda Main is in this one, but Carolyn Monroe, man, come on, Carolyn Monroe. I had like a really kind of like almost a bootlegish copy of this one that I bought in the store, but finally got the Mondo Macabro one. I was really excited to get this one. I was at my dad's once and he had it and we watched it and I utterly fell in love with this film. You guys know I love Christmas horror films and I must have every Christmas horror film that exists. It's a thing of mine. Next up is a Jess Franco one, and it's one that I am probably going to be like talking about. Which one? Oh, Don't Up to Christmas? Oh, God, no. Not at all. If it's anything, maybe it's a bit tame. Front Roots for Pieces, yeah. So there, see, and Edwin Purdom was in Pieces, actually. Dick Randall, that was the guy. I remember when I showed you the early on, like the double feature with the Wang Wang one. That was a Dick Randall produced like double feature. I do have Krampus. So actually, it's a fun film. Pieces is good. And what's neat is when you watch Pieces and you watch Pod People afterwards, because they have a lot of the same cast in it. See, this is where I gotta disagree. One, Jess Franco's a good director. He made some bad stuff, but as a director, he's really good. Tino Brass is an excellent director. Tino Brass was a guy that was more of an artsy director, and was really good at what he did. Unfortunately, it was his mainstream success, or sort of, with Caligula, that became a bit of the downfall for Tino Brass. What should have made him more famous actually kind of hurt his career in the long run. Tino Brass has done a lot of really good stuff and extremely well shot stuff as well. Unfortunately, he had to do a lot more kind of like in the later parts of his career, more kind of harder-ish, not hardcore, but like definitely pushing the edge in the softcore portion of it. But a very good director. Jess Franco too is a very good director. A well done Jess Franco one is extremely well done. I spent a lot of his early stuff, early Dr. Dr. Z and stuff like that. Excellent films. So How to Seduce a Virgin, a Jess Franco film. I'm actually covering up even though it's illustrated nudity, you're never quite sure on here, so I'm going to cover it up anyway. Excellent stuff on here. There's an interview with Elaine Petit, is that? Introduction of a critic, Stephen Thrower, as well. Optional, newly created subtitles for the film, which I like. The extensive production notes. Lionel Romay and Alice Arnault star in this one. So Howard Vernon is in this as well. He did like a lot of Jess Franco stuff, and definitely recommend it. This is actually because I'm doing the Jess Franco video download. This one's already upstairs. I took a big case. They have a great career and be only known for click. Isn't but that happens to so many directors. Like they'll have these amazing films that a lot of people just haven't discovered, and then they'll get this one film that'll just damn them. And we'll get into that. I'm eventually going to do a Tino Brass retrospective, a director series episode on Tino Brass. We'll talk about that. Can't say I listened to the jazz trumpet player. Now this one here is a double disc one, and we're back into Indonesian territory, guys. Oh, definitely. When I do the director series, we'll be going through the highlights and lowlights of all the directors. Jess Franco is going to be a lot harder because there's a lot more films, but I will do my best to get into what I consider the highlights of his career, and talk about stuff. Lionel Romay as well. We'll talk about Lionel Romay when we're talking about Jess Franco, and we're definitely going to have to talk about Soledad Miranda too. which is a big name when it comes to Jess Franco. She did some amazingly incredible work for him and some of his more lauded work as well. You think, but it didn't end his career. That's the thing. He kept on going, and he made better films after that too. It's just sometimes you get stuck in the spot, and then people just don't see it. But we'll get into it. I'll try and convince people anyway. The key, I know, is a key piece, pun intended. Indonesian one, Virgins from Hell. Not at all what you think it's going to be, by the way. It starts out. It's a kind of a girl biker gang, and there's this like casino at the beginning of the film, and the casino is is owned by this really corrupt guy, and there's this backstory like the leader of the girl biker gang, her parents were killed by this guy to get the land that she had to make this so they got this guy, the scientist guy, and the idea is to give is a drug that makes girls very aroused. It's a weird film, but it's fun, and it's not as sleazy as it sounds either, by the way. It is so cool and so cheesy, and there's nuts kind of nutty crazy action sequences and just over the top stuff. Just such a fun film. Yeah, I love Guru. There's a career ending film for you guys. There's 2 discs on this one. The second disc is what is really cool. So if you like Indonesian films, a lot of them were done by Jakarta, like it's a studio that did Virgins from Hell and companies like that. There's a couple that are out of print. I'm not quite sure which ones are. I would have to look back on it. And a lot of the Blu-rays aren't, but the DVDs, some of the DVDs are. My dad has a few more of the out of print ones than I do. Like he's got a couple of I know during the sale they brought back they found copies of, what was the name of it again? Da Balco Dr. Z, which is an out of print Mondo Macabro one, but you can get that one actually from Kino Lorber on Blu-ray. Thank you, Ricky. Mistress of Dr. Jekyll, Virgins Among the Living Dead, Sinner, Female Vampire, great place to start. Great choices. And we'll get into a couple of those in a second, actually. Off topic, what is your opinion if Freddy got fingered? Not a fan of the film, actually. Oh, so there's a 78 minutes of trailers, like Indonesian trailers, and there's Indonesian exploitation cinema featurette on here as well. Now, know that some of the featurettes that are on these are featurettes that are on a couple of films. So next up, I was asked about Greek cinema. Do I have any of the Greek cinema releases that they put out? I got a couple. I got a couple of the first releases that they did put out, and these are Greek, almost kind of Greek giallos, sort of in a weird way. Greek cinema has a steadfast kind of rule, especially at this period of time, where basically if there's a bad guy in Greek cinema, he can't get away with it. There has to be you're psychic, Ricky, because that's what we're going to talk about now. And it is a great film. Tango of Perversion. I love this movie. I really do. I love Tango of Perversion. It was the one that introduced me to Greek cinema from Mondo Macabro, and it is so weird. And there's a guy that has a two-way mirror, and he watches his friend with a girl through a two-way mirror. His friend doesn't know, the girl doesn't know actually, and he basically gives his friend his place to go with other girls with, to cheat on his girlfriend with, basically. And what his friend doesn't know is that he goes behind this two-way mirror because he's impotent, and his only type way to really, is to watch. So the friend pretty much dumps this girl, and he leaves. He just leaves the place. She says she gets really upset, and she throws something through the mirror, and she sees him. Then he accidentally kind of kills her. He's the hero of the story. That's all I'll tell you about this film. Think about it. He is the hero of this. In a way, he's the hero of this story. So that's how odd and unique and weird Tango of Perversion is. But you definitely have to check it out. Tango of Perversion, again, we get a brand new transfer here, a Greek cult cinema documentary on here as well, which is really worth checking out. And right after they put that out, they put out another one too. I think they put these two out. It's called Tango of Perversion, because some my Canadian accent may mess it up. So I'm gonna show it to you right there, dude. Tango of Perversion. Very interesting film. So at the exact same time, they put out two releases. They also put out one called The Wife Killer, which is again another really unique one. How do I put this one? I won't actually. Check it out. Some person got back studio. You don't know, right? But definitely, necrophilia is a plus. You don't hear that said very often, do you? Right? And the necrophilia is a plus. But I don't think I have. But definitely another one worth checking out. Next up is another Jess Franco one, and it's a really, really good one. Do not get like misled by the title. It's actually much better than the title would have you believe. It is Sinner: The Secret Diary of a Nymphomaniac, and I actually really like this film. If you want to see like Jess, kind of like in my opinion, like really good, like as a good Jess Franco film, I do consider this one a good one. No, I don't. I know Howard Vernon is in this one. I don't think if Lena Romay is in this one, she probably is smaller. I'm not a big Faces of Death guy because it's like real like murders and stuff, so I don't really watch a lot of that stuff. I know that like there were when I was at parties when I was in college, there would be like I'd be at some like Halloween parties and stuff, and they'd be like it would be playing on a big like a big screen at the time, like a big 32-inch screen in the background, or like on a projector type of thing. But I was never really into that stuff. I'll like watch Mondo films, but I've never really watched much of Faces of Death. Good question though. Is Sinner X-rated? I don't think so. I don't think any much of Jess Franco. Like there's, I guess like if you've got the like female vampire, for instance, I know that one has an X-rated version of it. I really don't know, and I don't think it says here actually. It says unrated, so it's unrated. We'll go with that. There is again introduction by Stephen Thrower, an interview with Gerard Cacone. I'm not sure if it's pronounced that right or not, but a really really good film. I actually really enjoyed this one. It does look a lot like Raquel Welch, but it's not. It is oh God, what's her name? God, which one is she? I'm going to say Anne Lebert, but I'm not sure. Softcore, yeah, that's there we go. Okay, we're gonna show you this is a nunsploitation one, The Sins of Sister Lucia. This is a Nakatsu one, so if you've seen the Nakatsu stuff, like there's a whole bunch of these, and you know the way these are. This is like a nun version, but like this is a documentary on Japanese cinema here as well, which I haven't watched, which I'm gonna have to watch because spoiler alert, guys, I ordered something that's coming in early to mid-May from Amazon. They say around May the 13th. That is going to start a video series on Asian horror that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be looking at the Ring series. I'm going to be looking at Dark Water. I'd like to read some other stuff as well. But yes, this is a Japanese nunsploitation film. Amy, I knew you'd like that. So I may avail of your expertise in that as well, by the way. But this has an exclusive documentary on Japanese cinema as well on here. And introduction by who else? Who like, come on, guys. It's a Japanese nunsploitation film. It is. This is Japanese, Brian. So, who do you think? Yes, Amy, you're correct. Jasper Sharp does the introduction. Jasper Sharp is a Asian film historian. Look, he is the king of Asian film historians, in my opinion. If there's a better one, Amy, you can let me know. But Jasper Sharp, by the way, Brian, if you got the Ring set, Jasper Sharp does like there's something on J Horror, and it's done by Jasper Sharp. You trust me, when you get to it, you really like it. Because it goes through the whole. Oh yeah, definitely wanna. I gotta get his book. I gotta get his book down the road. Is it still available? Okay, these are the last two of the DVDs before we get into the Blu-rays. But last but not least, man. Okay, these are both Indonesian. Indonesian genre cinema is insane. Like, it is insane. So there is a God. What's the character's name? Oh, Jaka Simbang. Jaka. We'll say Jaka anyway. So there's a character named Jaka, and it's played by Barry Prima. So they are a bunch of these Jaka films that were done. Unfortunately, as of this date, only two have been put out by Mondo Macabro, and the first one is right here is The Warrior. So this is nuts. It is a fun film. Trust me, look it up. The 1980s action hero is back. Barry Prima. It's crazy. It's insane. I'm not sure if this is the one or the one that the other one I'm about to show you is the one, but in one of them, like you can actually detach his body parts. So he can kick somebody by detaching his foot and throwing it and having it fly across the area. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say this is an Indonesian film actually. Live action anime film from Japan. I think I got a couple. I'd have to look though. But The Warrior, definitely worth checking out. If you don't have this one, get it. I think it's still in print. And Devil's Sword. This one's even better. Insanely cool film. I'm a huge fan of Indonesian films. I will definitely do an Indonesian cinema video down the road as well. Definitely something that I need to work on. I've got a lot of stuff that I'm working on right now. There's a lot of a lot of irons in the fire right now. Do I own? I don't own. Do I own Prayer for Death? You mean Shokazuji? I don't think I do, to be honest with you. I really got to get that one. I love Shokazuji. I'm a big, big Shokazuji fan. Now we're going to get into the Mondo Macabro Blu-rays. Any Uncle Jess's shout on video films? Tell Uncle Jess to send me some. No, I don't have any, actually, unfortunately. Okay, let's get into some like Mondo Macabro Blu-rays. First one was one of the early ones that I got. It is a great one. It is a German film, and if you don't own this one, definitely want to look at, because it is a really good film. A bit of a slow burn, but it pays off, and it pays off well. And I was fascinated by the film when I watched it. And I love the features that are on here as well. And this is The Fan, Der Fan. It is about a young lady that is really really into this band, especially the singer of this band. And she, I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you what happens. I don't own a lot of Mondo Macabro Blu-rays, unfortunately. I got something I'm going to show you. But definitely check this one out. It's a really good film. Great features on here as well. There's an interview with the film's writer-director. Brand new transfer on here as well. It came out with a Blu-ray and DVD combo pack. And as you can see, the Blu-ray is an ABC release. And that is a all-region DVD, so you can pick it up no matter what country you are in. Next up is a South Korean horror film. And you don't get a lot. I've seen a lot of like a South Korean stuff, but this one kind of stood out. Definitely worth checking out. One of the neat things about this one is there's like a basically a bunch of like covers, like horror covers and stuff, like I don't know, like stills gallery type thing on here that's worth checking out. There's a interview with the producer, interview with critic Kim Bang Sok, and hopefully I pronounced it right. I probably didn't. And Sully in the Dark, definitely an interesting film. So if you have not seen this one, definitely if you like South Korean horror, for instance, this is definitely worth checking out. So, Giallo. Do you like your Giallo, but you want it maybe just a mite less sleazy, maybe just a little bit tamer? You want a little something a little bit different. Well, this one does, I think, work on that. It's an Italian, Spain co-production, and it is definitely more of the kind of a tamer style Giallo. Got a new 4K restoration. It's an out-of-com turn by Troy Howarth, who I really like his work. There's a documentary called So Sweet, So Perverse, which is obviously the name of one of Troy Howarth's books. And on the scenes, that is The Fox with a Velvet Tail. I know Vinegar. Oh, was it no, not Victor? I know 88 Films put this out as well under a another title. Actually, there's another title. Another. There's another title for this film. I like it. I mean, it's definitely focusing on the giallo part a lot more than the sleazer aspect of the film, in my opinion. And I think it works for the film. I enjoy it. I don't think there's any. I'll be honest with you. I don't think there's a Mondo Macabro like Blu-ray release that I have not been utterly satisfied with, that I have picked up. I gotta give them credit. As we go through this, I'll just make sure, but I'm pretty sure everything that I've gotten from Mondo Macabro on Blu-ray, like blind buys and everything, I've felt completely satisfied with it. I really wish I could have done this video during the sale, and I do apologize. It was just I wasn't feeling well. This video had been planned as a big video a couple days ago, actually. Next up is a great little one. I love Paul Naschy. And there, Ricky says it's there. So there, the two people. Special edition was Are Amazing. A Warlock. I've only got one special edition. My dad's got a few. But don't like when the two detective-y cop chat. I want to see the detective cop chattering, but there's definitely like a mystery behind it. But it's not a procedural. Inquisition, Paul Naschy. I'm a big Paul Naschy fan. Some people didn't like this. I actually thought this was really good. But again, I like Naschy. Like, you gotta like Naschy going in. Like, but there's some great stuff. Introduction by Paul Naschy. I'll be doing a Paul Naschy video too, by the way. I'm trying to get through like. Thank you, Brian. I definitely need to recharge my batteries for sure. Hopefully, this video is making up for it. Hopefully this is going well, and I'm not coming across as tired or dragged out. I'm trying to keep my energy level up, which I hope is good. Definitely, it's out of sale right now, or out of stock. That's the thing. Like right now, they can't get a lot more stock in, I'm guessing, but hopefully soon they'll get more stock in on Inquisition. Hope this isn't out of print one. Really like this film. This was Paul Naschy. This was his directorial debut, I think. It's got to be here somewhere. Yeah, it is. This was his directorial debut. He plays like 3 roles in this film. Yeah, this one is, this is set in the Middle Ages, actually. 16th century France. Naschy does a great job in this. I think that sometimes, people know what I'm talking when I say this, a lot of Paul Naschy films can have like the ladies completely like enamored with Paul Naschy, and you know what I'm talking about. But I think he takes a few more chances with the Inquisition, and it's obviously a labor of love. That's blatant right from the beginning of the film. Next up is One Knife. Oh, really? The place seemed to have stocking issues due to the yeah, hopefully. That's a good way to say it, actually. I like that. I know on the wrestling sites, you say the Steve Carina thing, which I think is also brilliant as well. I really got to get The Devil Reincarnated. I don't have that one, Ricky. Naschy is so good. I eventually got to do a video on Naschy, too. I got a lot of videos to do, don't I? But that's one way I'm hoping, aside from being live, to set this channel apart, is to really kind of deep dive on like a lot of these things, like a lot of these directors and a lot of these actors and stuff. I can't even look. I can't Warlock. I want to look. I'm going to look. I'm going to look. I may not be able to buy anything, but I will definitely look. No, I'm lucky, Ricky, in that my dad was a huge Naschy. She's a huge Werewolf fan, right? And Naschy, of course, like made a lot of Werewolf films. But my dad was a huge fan of like Paul Naschy, and he actually did get to speak with him on Facebook and stuff like that, prior to his passing. Which I'm glad, because if anybody like deserved to have a chat with Naschy, it was my dad. I definitely owe my dad a lot for that, because he got me interested in a lot of films I may not have known otherwise. A Lizard in a Woman's Skin. Lucio Fulci. When people say, well, Lucio Fulci just made all those gore films, and or they'll say, yeah, actually he did. Or they'll say, like Lucio Fulci is only known for gore, or The Beyond, like this, the great film that he made. No, Lucio Fulci made great giallos, like really, really great giallos. No, actually, this is From the Balkan, I think. Yeah, From the Balkan. Um, but I can see like the Dark Hero. You'd see that. Um, Savage Streets. Oh, Savage Streets was a great film. Danny Steinman actually directed that. Who directed Friday the 13th Part 5. Lizard in a Woman's Skin, really, really good film. Yeah, he did. Like he did like a lot of different stuff. This is a great one though. I mean, like not only is this an excellent film, and it really is an excellent giallo film. If you like giallo, if you like slashers, you like that style of filmmaking, definitely check out this film. 100% check out this film. There's a sequence in the film, like a kind of a nightmare sequence, that got him in trouble. That was so realistic. I think they said at the time. I think he did. Didn't he do one for Fred Alone Ray? I'm pretty sure like it's not a good one, but Nashi in his later years did one for I think for Federal and Ray. Not something to really like go to look into too much, but go for the dub stuff more, man. That's what you want to go for. It's got like a documentary on called Shedding the Skin. Dr. Lucio Fulci's Day for Night, directed by Antonio Di Lillo. Interview with writer Stephen Thrower. Interview with actor Tony Adams. Audio commentary with Chris Gavin. Really, really good release, and 100% recommend checking out The Lizard in a Woman's Skin, because they did such a good giallo. And if you're getting giallos, this is one that you need to get. Four Horsemen is one on my wish list too. The only limited edition I've gotten so far from does my dad like Tom Cruise? I'm not sure if he probably doesn't actually. I did, okay, but he probably doesn't. Oh, that was fun cheese. Jose Larraz. I'm a huge Jose Larraz fan. Symptoms. So Symptoms came out. Now, when they ordered the cases for Symptoms, it's kind of comical because you have to understand, like, Mondo Macabro is pretty much a one-man show. He doesn't, not like he's got a bunch of money like behind all of this stuff. He's basically getting by, like each film at a time. Oh, definitely, man, Ricky, definitely sink yourself to the rod. This is actually a decent one. Really kind of really good performance by Angela Pleasance. Yeah, well, like I'm actually getting into that. So when you order the cases, you got the cases come, but the cases that came were PS3, PlayStation 3 cases. Now, the Grace Hits cases, remember those? So he couldn't just junk the cases and just grab. That was it was too much of a cost loss for him at the time. So he said, they're going to have, I'm going to send out the Symptoms ones. They're going to be the special edition ones, but they're going to have PlayStation 3 cases, just to let you know. But I didn't care. I really wanted this one. One copy of Inquisition left, guys, if anybody's looking for it. So what's really neat is like this was now I think all of his special editions are like they're all numbered, right? But this is 852 of 1,000. But they have like wraparound, like alternate covers and all stuff like that. I don't know, but this one has something really cool, and it has a booklet for this one, and all of the special editions usually have booklets. But what's really neat about this one, especially, that's a shame. I mean, because honestly, it's a case, and at the end of the day, if I really want to, I can change out this case anytime. I can go to any place and buy a red case. But this one was special for me because I'm a Larraz fan, and it came with Larraz on here. So it came as a bonus disc on its own, and this like sleeve Larraz on Larraz, which is exactly what you think it is. If you want to find out about Larraz, this is definitely the way to do it. It is a second disc, really good. Interviews on here with Angela Pleasance, with Lorna Helburn, with the editor Brian Smeliaston. The erotica documentary on Jose Larraz is on here as well, which is excellent, by the way. Brand new HD transfer from the film Negative on Vampires and Other Symptoms documentary directed by Celia Nova. So if you want to know about Larraz, this is your movie to go to. Now, after you get this one, I'm pretty sure you're going to pick up things like Edge of the Axe, Deadly Manor. I don't have them yet, actually. And the Jose Larraz box set, which came up from Arrow Video recently. Yeah, some of them come with lobby cards, too. I think my dad has a couple of the lobby cards ones. So there's some really great features if you manage to get the limited editions. A lot of the limited editions are limited to like 1,000 or something like kind of around that range. And they do tend to, he does kind of give people a heads up when he's putting them live, because they do tend to sell out actually fairly fast. The good thing is he does put out like regular editions, like this one right here, for instance, but he will put out a limited edition of it first. Price-wise, there's not a huge difference between the limited editions and the regular editions. It's just like if you're quick enough on the draw to get them at the time. Great, and it's worked well for him, I got to say. His company's getting up there and it's getting more traction, but I still think that a lot of people still pass upon or don't know or haven't dipped into the Macabro way, but definitely other ones too. I'm actually really surprised that An Ideal Place to Kill didn't sell faster too, because it is a great film. I actually talked about that one on here a couple of times. And An Ideal Place to Kill is otherwise known as Oasis of Fear. That's the one. When I talked about Oasis of Fear with Ray Lovelock, that's An Ideal Place to Kill. And if you've seen it, you know exactly what a cool film it is and what a cool soundtrack it has. Well, the thing is that the reason that that there's usually only like 1,000 or so, money-wise, in a lot of cases, because he knows, like, that he can probably sell 1,000, but he doesn't know if he, like, you can go into 2,000 or 3,000 territory and it may take a long time to sell. He's had certain like limited editions, like Public Life's Private Vices stuff, that still haven't sold out. And there's quite a bit of money that goes into the special editions. So if you can put out like 1,000, give like for the big fans, people that really want, get 1,000 whatever amount of copies, like, and get a limited edition out there, and give you like the same film with like all the features. You just be missing like a cover and a booklet type of thing and some lobby cards. Then you pick this up. For instance, you say you go and you grab one of these. You grab this one. You realize you like the erotica documentary that's on there, that type of stuff. But you said, okay, I'll just grab the regular one. Next time you might say, you know what, I want to get that limited edition, and you might be one of the person that gets that. And if enough people eventually, because Macabro is still a small company, gets it, then maybe they'll go out and make the next one 1,500. You never know. I don't have Private Vices. I really got to get that one. I know that when I heard an interview with him, and he was very disappointed. That was like a labor of love for him. Public Place, Private Vice, whatever the name of the film. Private Vice. We're gonna call it Private Vices. Is he really like had high hopes for that one? Hey, T Money, welcome, dude. Welcome, man. He got really high hopes for that film, and it didn't do well for him. But so if you haven't checked it out, definitely worth checking out. Perversion Story, Lucio Fulci. Look at this cover. Do I need to say anything else to check? I don't know, Ricky. I'm going to be doing a podcast episode in the very near future. So when I do, I'll try and check it out. I'm going to not just list some great podcasts for you to check out, but I'm also going to list some episodes, like some good episodes of each of the podcasts as well, to kind of give you like a primer, starter kit to work with. So remind me of that, because I will look into that. Was it a Shockwaves one? I can't remember. Perversion Story. Really, really good. Enjoy this one a lot. Again, this as the extended European version of the film on here. We got the interview with Gene Sorel on here, an interview with Esla Martinelli, interview with writer Stephen Thrower, English or Italian language choice. I always go with Italian, with subtitles, of course, because I cannot speak Italian. No, you don't. I haven't. No, I don't know many podcasts that are behind a paywall. Much like my channel, like I got a Patreon and stuff like that, but nobody has to have it or pay. It's just you can just go on like usually on a podcast thing and like just download. Like Just It Is, Shockwaves, Projection Booth, like a lot of different podcasts that are out there. But they're free to listen to. If you like them, feel free to support them, grab merch, that type of thing. I love the party. But the perversion story, definitely 110% check this out. This was given to me by a viewer, and I was really stoked about it. I was so excited, actually. Last but not least, this is going to be a key piece for me doing my Jess Franco video that I'm going to be doing on the road, and that is the Night Has 1,000 Desires. So, very interesting Jess Franco film. That is the great Lena Romay in here. I really like Lena Romay. This is her right here. It's unique, very sexy look to her. She was in Hot Nights of Linda. Severin put out like 2 ones of that. And a great one here. It's got the erotica documentary on Jess Franco. There's an interview with writer Stephen Thrower. I've got to watch this one actually sometime very soon. I've been really meaning to watch it. I've seen this one years ago, but Golden Pictures era. Yeah, that's the era that I want to talk about a lot actually. On that one, I've done 3 Jess discs. Hopefully one of these days Brian will ask me back again. We were supposed to do one a while back, but he's got really busy, and I got to say, between his Jess discs and Pure Cinema podcast, he's got much more bigger guests coming on his shows than me. So it's very understandable. I talked about Blood Harvest on that one, and I can't remember. Maybe one I talked about Incubus, I know, and I did one was actually not a Vinegar Syndrome one, which was he started one basically called a Watch Pile series, and I was the guest on his very first Watch Pile series podcast that he did. Oh yeah, definitely reasonable for the price. Like $25 for a limited edition is definitely more than reasonable for the price. I missed out on the Beast and the Magic Sword. I know these guys these guys that are getting up there like Tarantino, people like that. They might be slightly bigger. Just saying, they might be a little bit bigger than me. But but what was I saying? Anyway, this is like a watch coming up soon. So what I'm going to be unboxing in the next little while. So my Vinegar Syndrome stuff's been sent out, my April package. It's supposed to arrive on the 27th of this month. Originally supposed to arrive on the 24th. I said that can't happen. And so I looked the next day and said 27th. I said, yeah, that sounds more reasonable. So we'll be unboxing some Vinegar Syndrome stuff in the future. In May, we're going to have a lot of stuff. We got some Severin stuff. We got some Mondo, Macabro stuff coming out, some Criterion. And think big, that's it. And we'll have an Arrow one release as well. And what I'm buying now is setting up my pretty much my videos for the next few months. And I'm actually very excited about it. Steve, you ever Magnum PI? I love Magnum PI. Have you seen the sunset? I'm going to do podcasts like Joe Rogan does. Film or recording the podcast. Oh, you mean is it going to be like Joe Rogan or Shockwaves or something like that, where I'm going to be like filming the podcast while I'm doing it? Not at first. I've got to get around to like editing stuff, because I'm on a podcast. The idea, the concept behind mine is I want to make it different. I just want to do the same thing that everybody else is doing. And some people would say this to some people is a podcast. Even when I was doing like shorter, like 30, 35-minute videos, there were people that would like listen to my videos as a podcast. But what I plan on doing is I plan on hopefully sailing of some of your guys' talents and having guests different guests on different podcasts, whether it's my better half or my kids or someone of you guys. Like when we're talking about like certain like films or directors or actors or just some stuff that's coming out. That's kind of what I want to do. It's kind of like a different take on it than you normally see, with a lot of different guests, and not guests just being like bigger people, but like people like say Ricky there for like a Franco episode, just like a guy that does like I think really into David Lynch as well. So we'll be looking into that. I know Emily said that she wanted to do, and Michelle wanted to do like an episode once it gets done. So I'm going to be once that all gets straightened away and I get everything situated for that. That's how I'm going to be like. I'll be starting, of course. It'll be bumps all along the way, but hopefully it's something you're going to be interested in and that you'll listen to. Because that like it's not going to take over from this channel. It's going to be just an addition. It's going to be like an adminium, like an extra part of this channel. And hopefully you'll like it. Hopefully it'll be something that you guys will enjoy. Because it'll let me not just ramble on, but have somebody or some people to ramble on with when I'm talking about some of these subjects. And that's kind of fun as well. The neat part about here is I get an interactivity that is unavailable on a regular video. I did like videos where basically it was just me talking to the screen, and then I would like respond to comments. Then I started getting a few more comments, and I found sometimes it was hard to write everything that I wanted to in a comment. So I initially started to do videos where I take a section of that video and I read out comments and respond to them. And eventually, when I came here, I just started to do live videos and to live stream everything. Sponsorship, probably not early on. I mean, I don't even know how to go about that. That's wave 2 of my Patreon. I want to do that stuff because there's a couple of things. I realize there's a couple things I'm going to need. A decent mic, and there's some equipment that I need to like for filming, for taping it with, especially when you're doing like a taping with somebody else. There's certain like equipment that you need to put it all together. I have got some editing software which I think is going to work, so I'm going to work with that first. It's the biggest endeavor that I've had since I started up this channel, and I've wanted to do like eventually like to do a someone got severed online. Nice. I wanted to do like a video of kind of talking about like exactly what goes behind. Like a lot of people think that to make these videos, I just come down. Blue Yeti is what I want to go with, Warlock, if I can afford it, because I find that's the best mic for podcasting. And there's the Snowball too. If I can't afford it, I'll go for the Snowball. But what I do want to try to get is the Blue Yeti. I'm doing like a super chat type of thing, and I'll be putting some stuff up for there. I would love to do on Third Wolfman actually. That's a dream one. I mean, Third Wolfman can do werewolf films. That would be an awesome one. T-Money, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. But that's what we'll be doing in the future. What I'm looking to do is to do something or a section of a video in the near future that is going to be talking about how these videos are kind of put together. People tend to think that because these videos are live and they're streamed, that because there's not a lot of editing that has to go into that. It's just you just can go free flow off the cuff. But in actuality, there's a lot of like watching and research, and juggling stuff back and forth that has to be done to actually get to the point where I can come on here and talk about it, and hopefully not come across like I'm stumbling upon my words and sound like an idiot, that type of thing. So hopefully the research and the film, the watching and the background that I do, and I enjoy doing that anyway. So that's always a big plus for me. So guys, I want to say right now, thank you so much for coming and joining me tonight for a 123-minute long video. That truly rocks. And I'm sorry. Again, I apologize. I wasn't feeling well over the last couple of days. It is definitely that time. I am Aaron. This is my movie library. You are the call to cinema. You rock. Thank you so much, T Money. I can promise you that is going towards the mic. And I will talk to you guys again very soon. I will be in definitely contact with a lot of people about the when the podcast gets underway, because there's a lot of you guys that are really I'm going to come to, and we're going to make some awesome stuff. I hope so. Fingers crossed. Have a great evening, guys. And for me right now, it's time for tea.